Hello, friends. It's me again, and it's time for another story. A story that was sent to me specifically by our friend Benji. So, this is I'm not sure what this is about yet. I haven't read through anything about it, so let's just get right into it. Hello, Moonhorse. Hello, and the Moonherd. I wish for you to grab your favorite drink or food or hats if that's your thing. I've been thinking a lot about what to submit for a story, and after a long time of thinking, I wanted to write about myself. To be honest, I've been spending a lot of time thinking what to mention and what not to mention, but I just decided to be as honest as possible. To start off, I haven't felt normal. Living life haunted by myself and how that downward spiraled into more neckbeard/incel vibes. Trigger warning for anyone who's quite sensitive to these things. It all started when I was really young. I'd been bullied for almost all of my life for every single thing. From between the ages of 3 and 15, I had been bullied nonstop. First, it was because I only spoke English, others because I wasn't good in sports, others just for the fun of it, I guess, and many more. In the later years, I became anorexic around the age of 13. I'd lost 66 pounds in 30 days. Oh my god. Then when I was about 14 or 15, I had gotten so fed up that I'd become incredibly antisocial, fighting with everyone who dared to even look at me. I ended up like a Maltese firework, going off and no one was safe. Am I proud of myself? Of course I'm not, but it was the only way I could survive, technically, especially in a Catholic secondary school whose headmaster cared more about how much each piece of the school cost more than the actual students. It was practically just a prison for rich kids. In an environment where I would do my hardest just to prove people wrong, like getting my O level in maths, just to get back at a math teacher who was making fun of me for suffering in that class. A side note, I want to thank another math teacher who helped me understand these things by relating it to things that I actually love. All of the bullying, anger, and confusing of who I was, with the added effect that a lot of my peers would make fun of me or not even care. All of that had resulted in me trying to end self things, I can't say those words, during a school sleepover after I tried to leap from the school's highest point, let's say, before my friends had gotten a hold of me at 15. My god. When I graduated from that school, it felt like leaving out of a personal hell, or so I thought. And then came the summer of the year that I would meet my legbeard ex, who was very controlling and would be way too restrictive. For example, getting her father to call my mother to force me to stop talking to my friends. What the fuck? Or the fact that she tried to choose my education by trying to force me to choose programming because her father's a programmer. Even after I would constantly tell her that I don't want to do that, and then telling me I wouldn't succeed in anything if I don't listen to her. And many more that I really can't mention because it would take too long. Maybe another story for another time. Let's just say that after I broke up with her, I had become quite afraid of women, even angry at them, thinking that a lot of them were like my ex. That would sound a bit hypocritical due to my best friend being a girl. You might say that I gave her a pass due to how close we were and how long we'd been friends. There was one thing that happened around that time when she was on and off controlling and bullying. I was always the person who she called after she would get into a fight with this guy. I can remember all of the sleepless nights just being there. It just made me worry and wonder why women always wanted someone who would treat them like that. Obviously, being a social outsider, always staying inside of the house, I escaped to the internet to get my answers, and the first thing I would see is people saying, oh, nice guys finish last, and that women don't want a gentleman, they only want one to control them, and things like that. Obviously, at the time, the only time I dated someone, she wasn't exactly the nicest person. So, I agreed with that. Oh, that must be the answer. Don't forget the fact that, at the time, I had a new love for yandere anime, like Future Diaries. I don't know what that is, but which, ironically enough, my best friend introduced me to. I would still have fears that I, even now, have, like being afraid to walk alone, or doing it late at night or very early in the morning so that no one would see me. Even the fact that I still don't know when someone jokes or not due to the constant bullying in my past, and worst part is not being able to make many friends due to me being super talkative when I become comfortable with someone, and the fact that I can't control nor do I filter anything that I say. It's on my mind a lot, taking days before knowing what I did was wrong not to really understand socializing. So these types of people who had the same ideology were who I thought would be my new friends, but in reality, these new online friends were super toxic and judgmental, and they kind of judged me for everything I did. So it led me to being more isolated and being angrier and angrier. Almost all of my friends were busy due to them preparing for school, and I didn't know what to do with me failing half my exams and my chances going to the same school as my friends couldn't happen. Which that got me in a worse state than I was before, making me feel like I was hopeless and I just couldn't succeed in any way. Many times thinking that I should have done it before anyone could have stopped me and ended all of this a long time ago. Thinking that society had failed me at 15. I am very lucky today that the Joker movie was not a thing, because that would have made things worse. What started me to slowly recover from this incel neckbeard mentality? Weirdly enough, it happened when my mother told me about an introduction meeting for everyone who were fresh out of secondary school. It was all being hosted in a large Phoenica hotel next to the wall of the capital city. As soon as I saw a room packed with potential future careers, sadly 80% of them all needed a university education, which made me want to leave the room defeated until, weirdly enough, I met my aunt in one of the booths and offered me to work with the company that she worked at the time, which was one of the country's most well-known luxury venue and hotel companies. That's cool. It seemed interesting, and I thought that it would be the only company that would be good for me due to all the hotels being old places, making me interested in the venture. My mother asked if I wanted to look around again and see some other things, so I did, and I saw a few that caught my interest, like a massive company who designs parts for huge automobile brands like Ford and Volkswagen and many others. Just when I thought I was finished, I had wandered to the aviation stand. I talked to them for a bit and found out that it was something that I could see myself in, and that was where I found out what I wanted to do. When I joined the trade school, I started doing courses and getting my diploma in electronics, and now finishing my dream course, hoping everything gets better. When I was doing my first course, my work experience was when I found your videos, which around the same time I started to understand what incels and neckbeards were, realizing that the people I would be terrified to hear about was what I had become. The video that started it all was the beard cell video. That would later lead me to join the Discord server. I have to admit, I made a bad first impression due to me being overly excited and acting very weird. Instead of being laughed at and pushed away, I was brought in for who I was, and I had never seen so many people who just accept me for who I am. That was around 2019, and now in 2021. I've left from my times as a neckbeard incel as much more accepting yet still learning person that you see me today. Honestly, getting myself to focus and changing as much as I could to be a better person. I'm finishing my aviations courses and hopefully getting the job. I bought my dream car at 18, which is a little gray bug that I named Maria after my grandmother. Aw. Self-published a book, which many people in secondary, including some of the teachers, said that I would never be able to do, and still have amazing friends who cared about me after being so silly, even being able to meet my best friend twice in real life. I even started going to the gym and realizing that even though I'm not in the best of shape, they are always willing to help me understand. I'm still not 100% happy with myself. There are times where I wish I was a more normal person, that I wouldn't screw up so much. People think I'm flirting even though I'm just trying to talk with the little skills I have. Me still being too afraid to the point that I can't function in real life, and people still see me as a massive weirdo. And I can have moments when I wouldn't want to do anything, never leave the bed, wishing I could be different. Sometimes, like those dark days before, I always think about my end and if people would miss me. I'm sorry for this being kind of long, and thank you for your patience. Lots of love from me to all of you. Thank you so much for reading this. From yours truly, Benji. Benji, that was a fantastic story. That was incredible. And I remember, I don't remember every exact moment, but I do remember the first couple of times that we started talking, and I knew that you were going through stuff, because, when you have to deal with stuff like chronic depression, you can kind of identify when someone else is dealing with it too, and I'm so glad to hear that things are actually getting better. You always struck me as somebody who is definitely smarter than their peers kind of push them, to be. Someone who knew more about what they were talking about and was definitely passionate about what they wanted to do. I'm really glad that you're able to start following your dreams and getting, the education and the future that you want. That's fantastic, and I'm so glad to hear that things are starting to work out. I can tell you that it's been this past year that I myself have started working out, and I'm not making super amazing progress. I'm not shedding 10 pounds a week or some nonsense, but I'm getting there little by little, and that's how I feel with not just exercise, but also with mental health and everything. There's no miracle cure. It's not going to go away in a day, but if you work at it, take it just a little by little, you can get there. And you are definitely showing wonderful signs of progress. I can't thank you enough for having the courage and the empathy to share this with all of us, and I really do hope that you end up doing 1,000 times better than you ever thought you could in the future. And I don't know about everybody else, but I'm really proud of you, man. That's fantastic news that things are getting better. I know what it's like to be in those dark places, but I'm glad that you're not there anymore. And yeah, we all have relapses, but you're never alone. And that's the most important thing to remember. There's always someone there to help. So, thank you again for sharing this wonderful story with us. And thank you all for being here. If you enjoyed this and would like to share your own story, r/Moonhorse stories, there's the YouTube thing, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I have a Ko-Fi and a merch store, and the links to all of those things are below this in every video. So there's also a Discord, which you can join, and a live stream every Saturday. So feel free to share your stories, and I'm very proud of you again, Benji. I'm proud of every one of you guys. You're doing wonderfully. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.